Right, good morning and welcome to day 7. We've woke up, it's about, I think it's about 6:30 now. It's blooming freezing. The temperature was showing that it was 0 degrees this morning, and to be fair, that was probably during the night. The sun's come up and it already feels like it's warming up a little bit. But the RV, I must admit, if people, one thing they need to know about, and that is that they don't keep heat at all. When you consider that at night, when it's quite warm here, the thing's really hot, but as soon as the temperature drops, wow, does it drop inside. Oh, anyway, let's see. I didn't do a sort of a close down video yesterday because we were sort of waiting and thinking, I'll do something when the stars come out, because as you can probably see, it's a beautiful place. It seems to be very dark. There doesn't appear to be many lights here. Lo and behold, when the lights went down, the whole place seemed to light up. There's all these little lights everywhere that you see. Well, I think you can see one just sort of ahead. But they are so unbelievably bright, and they seem to be almost by every couple of pitches for an RV. So it was amazingly bright, and we got a lousy view of the sky, and there was hardly any stars at all. So a bit disappointed, really. But anyway, no problem. What we're going to do is set off. We've made a coffee. We're going to think about getting off early this morning, and there's a lake around here, so we're going to go to the lake, maybe have a bit of breakfast by the lake, and then cheekily head down to McDonald's, which is in the town, probably get a coffee whilst we use their Wi-Fi, just to see if I can try and upload a video. I got day 3 up, but day 4, and bear in mind we're now on day 7, day 4 just hasn't gone yet. It just is not good enough to go. But anyway, let's crack on. It's another beautiful morning. Temperature's warming up. Let's see where that leads us. We've made a start this morning pretty early. We've got off just after 7 o'clock, and we've just driven a few miles. I'm looking back over towards Hawthorne now. We've only gone a few miles, but as we swing round, you'll see, I'm trying to keep it out the sun, but you'll see that this is almost like Africa. It's like the plains of Africa. Absolutely amazing, beautiful views. And as we swing round, slowly, so that I don't jerk it around, you can see down there is the Walker Lake. And as we zoom right in, there are animals. I'm trying to get sort of a hand, keep it steady. But there, right in the distance by the lake, are wild horses. Lots and lots of them. It's now moving around because I'm using the RV's bonnet, and the clowns that I'm with are jumping in and out of the RV. But there we go. There we go, that's okay, so that's the last view of Walker Lake. What's just happened in the last few minutes is we've had, I think it's quite cute really, because the children have come to me and said that they've voted that instead of heading north, that we actually turn back south and head back where it's warmer. Particularly on an evening. But I think that's really cute because they think it's a democracy, whereas they don't realise that it's not. This is a dictatorship. So, north it is. Past Walker Lake we head. Right, so we're heading south now. Apparently democracy does exist, and I've been told we're going to head to the more warmer climates. So, more updates later. Just sort of started on Highway 6 which leads up to Highway 325, which is the extraterrestrial highway. So here we go. This is the area. It's a few miles east of Tonopah. The temperature said 52, so what will that be? 52, about 10 or 11 degrees. And it is pretty chilly. That wind's a bit chilly. But still beautiful scenery over here. So that's the scenery we've got. Yeah, there's the scenery. Just behind our little tiny RV, which is a heck of a lot bigger than it seems when you're driving it. We've just fueled up again. That's another $75. So up to now I've spent 95, 75 and 75. So that's a lot. 9, 60, 230, 245 dollars worth of fuel so far, which is quite a lot really. Yeah, it's quite a lot. And at the moment I've done about 5 plus 500 miles. 500 miles, and I've got enough fuel to do about another 400. So, 400. So that's 9. Yeah, so it's working out. Whew, yeah, 25 quid per 100 miles. Wow. Anyway, didn't expect it to be cheap. Right, so had a break now, so off we go. Carry on. Okay, here we are. We're a little bit further on Highway 6. In fact, we're at the end of Highway 6 for us. That's looking back towards Tonopah. We're at a place called Warm Springs. And there's the bar and cafe. I'm not sure. It hasn't seen better days. Anyway, here we are. This is now the junction with Highway 375. And that means, of course, this is the start of the extraterrestrial highway. And there we go. That's looking down towards the highway. And of course, looking that way, the other side of there is Area 51. Okay, we've made a bit of a find here, which could be sort of a plot for a movie, because apparently Warm Springs is named after a warm spring. Who would have guessed it? So basically, this water here is naturally heated from a warm spring from somewhere. It comes through, and it's supposed to be 115 degrees. I take it that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius.
It's hot.
It's hot, is it?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to put my feet in. Just a minute. Hold the camera a second, John. Right, I'm going to put my feet in. So here goes. Stay on me. I'm going down there. Sounds like the changing room there. Oh wow. Oh my god, that is hot. It is actually hot. Oh wow. Right, so just a little bit more, and wow, this is hot. I've just sat with my feeties in the water, and just as they are, and wow, it is warm. Apparently, people do stop, get in and have a swim, because all the white stuff you can see around is sulphur that is coming to do with the spring somehow. But yeah, people apparently get in and have a swim. It's quite, I don't know, yeah, it's quite amazing to think that many years ago, I guess this, being called Warm Springs and the bar and thing that's closed down, I suppose at one point this was a stopping place and people used to come and have a swim, which would be really cool if that was happening, but I suppose like anything, there just isn't enough passing traffic to keep anything alive. But when you think you could be swimming and you've got that sort of backdrop, it's quite amazing. You know, looking up onto the mountain or hill at the back. Yeah, quite amazing. So I'm going to sit here for a while, steaming my little tutsies, and oh yeah, very warm. I just wanted to report that we've actually come out of the hot springs that are over there with the welcoming sign saying please come in, and I think that means please come in and take you a dip. So we're out of the springs. It's very straight, very sulphur and everything, and I don't know what it's supposed to do to your feet, but it's taken all the, well, it looks like all the dead skin off my feet. I wake up in the morning and my legs have dissolved. But hey, it was worth it to find a warm spring in the middle of a town called Warm Springs, which just seems such a coincidence. Right, okay, onward and upward to Rachel, and see what we can find on the extraterrestrial highway. Okay, so here we are on the extraterrestrial highway, Highway 375 in Nevada, and low flying aircraft sign, and we've got Louisa driving, Johnny navigating, and me just laid in the back having a rest. Again, we're just surrounded by absolute nothingness. Right, so we're looking out, and that's the view towards Area 51. And as you can see, there's actually cows very close to the road. And as we look over here, there are some horses. Are they horses or are they cows? We don't know yet. Oh, we don't know yet. We have some four-legged creatures on the close to the road as well. And out that way, that's a pretty good view. You can't argue with the view out of the windows. Actually, though, there is a cow. Is it on the road, yeah, road up there? Yeah, you've seen it. Good. Yeah, so they are cows, and the wild cows, pretty angry cows anyway. Don't know if they're fully wild. No, seriously, the wild cows that nobody owns them. They just run amok trying to hide away from Ronald McDonald. So yeah, we're gonna have to be careful up here because we've got one on the road, or as you can see, almost see, they are pretty close to the road. Just going head first into somewhere.
Christ, don't beat your arm now.
They're all looking at us, look. Look, careful, he's watching you.
Oh, it's running off.
Oh good, at least it's going. Oh, it's so cute. Can we have one?
Look at that.
We could take one back.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Oh.
So we finally made it. We've travelled the goodness knows how many miles today, in excess of 200, and we finally got to Rachel and the extraterrestrial highway sign, or one of them. Yeah, so the plan is now is to go see if we can find where we can park for the night, and then have a look round, see what there is, and obviously go into the Little Alien Inn, which is the highlight of the whole journey. Here we are at probably one of the most iconic places for people interested in aliens. This is the Little Alien Inn, and that there is the sign, and next to it the UFO, which I think is supposed to represent a crashed UFO. But yeah, quite amazing to think that we're here after all our travels, and it is literally in the middle of nowhere. It's 163 miles to Tonopah, which is the last sort of habitation and gas station, and yeah, as you can see, people are taking advantage of taking pictures on the empty road. and that way I think it's 200 miles to Cedar City, which shows we are literally in the middle of nowhere. And what was very interesting is I was just booking in the RV for the night, and there was a lady talking to another lady, and she says, oh, are you okay free next Wednesday? And so the lady says, oh, why is that? She says, oh, well, I'm wanting to go on a trip into Las Vegas. And she says we need groceries, and she needs some pills, and she says we need and I need to get my hair cut. And it is literally a case of driving that far, you know, couple of hundred miles to couple hundred miles just to get the sort of necessities that they need, which is quite amazing, really. I suppose it's a place where you love the postman guy. Anyway, that's it. We'll have a look round, go in the Alien Inn once we've parked up the RV and got some power, charging everything up. So yeah, more dates later.